This happened a few weeks ago. I'm 32 now, and I've spent years exploring forgotten places as a freelance journalist. When I found the abandoned mental asylum on the edge of town, I couldn't resist. I thought it would be perfect for my next article. I expected weird stories and strange sounds, maybe a good photo or two. I arrived late in the afternoon. The sun was sinking, casting long shadows through the broken windows. I pushed the heavy door open, and it creaked like a warning. My heart raced a little as I stepped inside. It felt empty in a strange way, like the air was holding its breath. I wandered through the hallways, taking photos and writing notes. Dust floated in the fading light. For a moment, I felt a thrill, like I was on a treasure hunt. I paused in front of an old gurney, imagining the stories it could tell. I wasn't sure what I thought I'd find, but soon enough, the atmosphere shifted. Around a corner, I heard something. Soft footsteps. They echoed in the long corridor behind me. I turned quickly but saw nothing, just empty space. I told myself it was my imagination. I carried on deeper into the asylum, feeling a chill creep down my spine. I kept glancing back, half expecting someone to follow me. As I explored further, I caught brief glimpses of shadowy figures out of the corner of my eye. I wasn't sure if it was the light playing tricks or something more sinister. My heart pounded louder in my chest. I tried to shake it off. Maybe I should just finish up and leave. Yet I felt drawn in, almost compelled to uncover whatever secrets the place held. Then I heard it again, a faint whisper, calling my name. It was soft and hollow. I froze, my breath quickening. I didn't know if I should call out or run. I stepped back, but my foot caught on a loose floorboard. It creaked loudly. I held my breath. I headed toward a medical room. The door was slightly open and swaying. I stepped inside, taking in the rusted tools that glimmered in the dim light. A cold draft wrapped around me. I turned to leave, glancing behind me, but I was alone, or so I thought. Then I heard the voice again, much closer now, echoing in the silence. My name. Panic washed over me. I stumbled back, feeling exposed, like someone was watching me from the shadows. And then I saw it, just a glimpse, a figure at the far end of the room. My heart stopped. I blinked, and it was gone. I turned to run, struggling to catch my breath. Had I really seen something? Maybe it was just my mind playing tricks, but I couldn't shake the feeling that I wasn't alone anymore. I didn't stop running until I got outside, gasping for fresh air. I left the asylum behind, my mind racing with questions. What had happened in there? Whatever stories I was looking for, I realized I had stumbled into something far darker than I ever expected. The next morning, I woke up with a knot in my stomach. I couldn't shake the memories of the asylum from my head. The whispering voice, the fleeting figure. I tried to convince myself it was just a trick of the light, but deep down, I knew it felt too real. I grabbed my notebook and sat down at my kitchen table. I needed to gather my thoughts. The stories I could write about a haunted asylum could be gripping, or at least intriguing enough for an article. But first, I had to understand what I experienced. So I decided to do some research. I pulled out my laptop and started digging into the asylum's history. After several hours of scrolling, I stumbled upon an article mentioning strange, unexplained occurrences linked to the place. Previous explorers had reported voices, shadows, and chills. I felt a cold sweat trickle down my spine. My fingers hovered over the keyboard as I read more about the people who had once lived there. Many had tragic stories, patients lost, forgotten. Once I gathered enough information, I decided I had to go back. My gut twisted at the thought, but I felt an undeniable pull to return. I needed to know more, to get answers, if there were any to be found. I arrived at the asylum in the late afternoon again. The sun was shining brightly this time, creating an eerie contrast to the place's reputation. I took a deep breath and pushed the door open once more. But this time, It felt like the air wasn't just holding its breath, it was waiting for something to unfold. As I stepped inside, my heart pounded with anticipation. I retraced my steps through the twisted hallways, clutching my camera like a lifeline. I felt similar shadows dance around the corners of my vision, just out of reach. This time, I was determined not to let fear overwhelm me. I made my way to the medical room again. The air inside felt heavier. I stopped and looked around, noticing dust motes swirling in the sunlight. That's when I saw it, a piece of paper on the floor that hadn't been there before. It was aged and tattered, partially buried under debris. I bent down to pick it up, suddenly hopeful. The paper was a patient's admission form. It detailed reasons for staying and conditions diagnosed decades ago. But as I scanned the document, something caught my attention. There had been multiple mentions of a patient with my name. A coincidence, right? But a chill coursed through me. I didn't want to believe in connections that went beyond mere chance. Just as I finished reading, the temperature plummeted. I could see my breath in the air. Startled, I looked around. That's when I heard it again, a whisper. My name. But this time, it wasn't so far away. Felt as if it was right next to me, echoing in my ear. I spun around, heart racing. I wasn't alone. I fought the urge to bolt. Instead, I stood still, trying to gather my wits. Who or what was here with me? The answer felt just out of reach, dancing beyond the veil of understanding. But then, everything went dark. The lights flickered, and I was plunged into shadows. Panic surged as I fumbled for my phone. I turned on the flashlight, the beam cutting through the blackness. I was not prepared for what I would find. The beam of my flashlight quivered as I lifted it through the darkness. The shadows seemed to stretch and twist, playing tricks on my mind. I swept the light over the room, desperately searching for anything that might explain the sudden blackout. Then, I saw it. A figure standing at the far end of the room. My breath caught in my throat. Some instinct told me to run, but I froze instead. The light flickered back to life, illuminating the dusty surfaces and revealing that no one was there. Just an empty space that felt charged, as if it had swallowed something whole. Get a grip, I whispered to myself. Yet the remnants of fear clung to me, squeezing my chest. I needed to keep moving. I turned and hurried past the gurney, my heart hammering with every cautious step. As I made my way toward the door, another whisper curled around my ears. It was softer this time, like a plea. Help. The word echoed, tinged with sadness. My skin prickled, goosebumps rising along my arms. I couldn't ignore it. I had to find out who was asking for help. I followed the whisper deeper into the asylum, feeling oddly drawn to its source. Each corner I turned revealed remnants of a life once lived. Photographs on the walls showed smiling faces, patients, nurses, families. Why had they come here? What stories lay buried with them? I stumbled into what appeared to be a common room, its windows shattered. A chill surged through me as the whisper grew clearer. It pulled me to an old, dilapidated armchair in the center of the room, and I couldn't shake the feeling that someone had been sitting there, watching over the others. As I approached, my phone buzzed violently against my thigh. I jerked, nearly dropping it. I pulled it out, expecting a text or alert, but my screen was blank, except for a single notification. One voicemail. What? Confusion flooded my mind as I pressed the button to listen. My heart raced as the recording played. A shaky breath, followed by muted crying, filled the airwaves. Then came the voice, a child's. Help us, please. It was brief, but filled with palpable fear. My blood ran cold. I felt the temperature drop again, as if the room's despair had seeped into the atmosphere. Suddenly, the heavy silence shattered. A loud bang echoed from the hallway I had just come from. Whatever was in here with me wasn't content to stay hidden any longer. I stepped back, heart pounding, my focus shifting from the chair to the darkened corridor. I needed to leave, but the voice still threaded through my thoughts. I couldn't just walk away. I had to understand why these words kept haunting me. Then, without warning, the armchair tipped over, and I screamed, scrambling backward. Something was undeniably at play. I felt eyes on me, a presence that both terrified and compelled me closer. I stood frozen in place, caught between the urge to escape and the inexplicable need to uncover the truth. But before I could decide, a soft giggle floated down the hallway. Not just any giggle, it was the voice from the voicemail. It echoed with both innocence and dread, urging me to move forward or face whatever darkness lurked behind me. And suddenly, I knew I had to take that step into the unknown. The giggle sliced through the tension, sending chill bumps racing across my skin. I could feel my heart pounding in my ears, but I forced myself to take a step forward. The hallway loomed dark and foreboding ahead, but I couldn't turn back now. I wanted to be brave. With every step, the light from my flashlight flickered erratically, as if something was interfering with it. "Come on, don't fail me now," I muttered, shaking the device lightly. I pressed on, each footfall soft against the cracked tiles. The air thickened, an eerie weight pressing down on me. The giggle echoed again, resounding from deeper within the walls. I couldn't help but chase it. "Hello?" I called out tentatively. My own voice sounded small and lost in the void. "Who's there?" No reply came, just that lingering sense of despair wrapping around my thoughts. I turned another corner and found myself in what looked like an old nurse's station. The desk was cluttered with empty pill bottles and faded patient files. I rifled through them quickly, heart racing. Nothing could distract me from that girl's voice. "Help us, please." It haunted me, the urgency palpable. Then, out of the corner of my eye, movement. I swiveled my flashlight towards it, and my breath caught again. A curtain fluttered as if someone had just passed through. I rushed over, my hands trembling, clutching the flashlight like a security blanket. "Hello?" I repeated, louder this time. "Is anyone here?" Silence lingered thicker than fog. Just when I was about to check the adjoining room, my phone buzzed again. My heart leapfrogged into my throat as I glanced at it. There was nothing but the blank screen. "Damn it," I cursed under my breath, frustration bubbling up. I turned back to the curtain, hesitant but driven by an urgency I couldn't explain. As I pulled it aside, a chill raced down my spine. There was nothing behind it, but a cold breeze swept past me. Suddenly, the lights in the room flickered, this time more violently. I stumbled back, panic hitting harder than before. The darkness choked the room, plunging me into near total blackness. I fumbled for the door, desperately trying to escape. And then, just like that, the light flickered back on, illuminating another figure standing across the room. This one was closer. My pulse raced as I squinted, needing to make sure my eyes weren't playing tricks. It was a girl. She seemed lost. Her hair hung around her face, draped in shadows. My breath caught again, caught somewhere between fear and empathy. Then she spoke, her innocent eyes locking onto mine. "Help us." Before I could respond, the ground beneath us trembled. The walls shook and I stumbled. Cracks spiderwebbed through the fading paint. The room quaked violently, and I finally understood. Whatever haunted this place was angry. "Help!" I screamed, both for her and myself. But as I turned to run, I saw the corridor behind me had vanished, swallowed by darkness. I was trapped. I needed to find another way out, but every instinct told me to get away from the girl. Her voice, once soft and pleading, now echoed louder, drowning out my thoughts. "Help us! Help us!" And just like that, I was no longer sure what I was dealing with. Did I dare to move closer? Or was it time to fight my way back into the night? I stood there, paralyzed by fear and confusion. The girl didn't move, her eyes boring into mine with an intensity that felt like it could strip away my resolve. "Help us," echoed again, sharp and urgent. It was as if the room itself was pressing on me, urging me to make a choice. My instincts screamed at me to turn and run, but every heartbeat pulled me closer to her. I took a shaky step forward, my flashlight flickering as if joining my wavering courage. "What do you need? How can I help you?" The words escaped my mouth before I could think them through. A faint smile crossed her lips, but it felt sinister, out of place in this decaying room. "You have to find the key," she said, her voice a whisper now, entwined with the growing tremors of the building. "What key?" I asked, breathless. The tremors intensified, and the walls creaked ominously. I could feel the temperature drop even further, and my skin prickled as I gazed at her. "The key to the door," she replied cryptically. "It's the only way." Then, without warning, a loud bang resonated through the room. I jumped, my flashlight swinging wildly. Nothing was behind me, but the feeling of a presence loomed close, an unseen force that made the air heavy and unsettling. My heart pounded, drowning out all reason. "Where's the door?" I shouted, panic beginning to claw at my gut. But the girl had vanished. I spun around, scanning the room, my mind racing. The only thing I could see was a shadow darting to the back of the nurse's station. "Wait!" I called out instinctively, chasing after the fleeting silhouette. As I reached the desk, I saw something glinting on the floor beneath the clutter. I fell to my knees, my fingers trembling as I brushed aside the remnants of old patient files. There it was, a rusty key, just a bit tarnished but intact. I didn't think twice. Grabbing it, I shot back towards the darkness. "Where's the door?" I shouted, fear gripping me tightly. No response, only the oppressive silence that followed. I felt the walls pressing in, the air thick with shadows. I stumbled across the room, searching desperately for an exit. "Help us!" a chorus of voices rang out, haunting and echoing, intertwining with the girl's pleading. It surrounded me, disorienting. I felt the ground quake again, deeper and more menacing. Then I noticed it, a door on the far wall, partly ajar. The key felt heavier in my pocket, like a weight of dread and desperation. I sprinted towards it, adrenaline coursing through my veins. As I reached for the doorknob, it felt cold under my fingers. I hesitated for just a moment. What awaited me on the other side? But those voices, louder now, ignited a fire within me. "Please," they breathed, "help us." With a deep breath, I turned the key in the lock. It clicked, sending a wave of anticipation through me as the door creaked open. A blinding light burst from the other side, washing over my trembling body. But before I could step through, a sharp pain shot through my heart. It was an icy grip, foreign and unyielding. I turned, and there she was again, the girl's face twisted into a terrified expression. "Don't go," she cried out, her voice filled with urgency. "They'll never let you leave." And in that moment, I was faced with a choice. Step into the light and risk the unknown, or stay and confront whatever haunted this place. My heart raced, caught in a storm of uncertainty. I took a slow step back, torn between fear and curiosity. The girl's warning hung in the air, heavy with dread. I didn't want to confront whatever was behind me, yet the light beckoned from the open door. It felt like a lifeline, but the chill of her words gripped me tighter than any fear I had felt before. "Why not?" I whispered, half to myself. "What's waiting for me out there?" She shifted, her expression tightening. The things here, they're not what they seem. They'll hunt you, twist your mind. You have to trust me." "Trust you?" I shot back, anger mixing with my fear. "You're a part of this, aren't you? You're just as trapped." A flicker of sorrow crossed her face, the illusion of power fading. "I'm different. I can't escape. But you have a chance. Don't let them take that away." Before I could respond, a dark figure emerged from the darkness. Shadows behind her, a shape too large and looming to ignore. It shifted, its features distorted and faint, but I could feel its malevolent presence pressing against me. "Leave her!" it growled, the voice a raspy whisper full of malice. I staggered back, my breath hitching in my throat. Was this the darkness the girl warned me about? "Run!" she urged, eyes wide with fear. I pushed through the moment of confusion and bolted for the doorway, heart racing. My pulse thundered in my ears, drowning out the chaos behind me. But just as I reached the threshold, something cold grasped my arm, yanking me back with a force that made my head spin. I turned to see the girl drifting farther away, her image flickering like a candle about to go out. "Please!" she cried, but that was drowned out by the whispering laughter of the shadows. I was torn in that instant, between the embrace of the light and the pull of the darkness. I felt myself slipping, the coldness seeping further into my skin. "Don't give in!" she shouted, her voice becoming more distant. But my mind swirled with chaos. If I stepped through, would I truly be free, or would I become just another echo in this wretched place? With a desperate burst of strength, I wrenched my arm away from that icy grip. I stumbled back toward the door and leapt through, the light swallowing me whole. But instead of the welcome warmth I expected, I landed on hard, cold ground. Blinking, I found myself in what appeared to be the room I just fled. But everything felt wrong. The colors were muted, the air thick, and a low hum vibrated around me. I quickly got to my feet, scanning the area. The walls pulsed with an energy I couldn't grasp, shadows morphing like water. It was as if I had jumped into another realm, one filled with echoes of my own fears. That's when I saw it, a door on the opposite wall, identical to the one I just fled. My heart sank. Had I just gone in a circle, or was this another trap? "Get out!" the girl's voice whispered from somewhere deep within the shadows. "You must find a way out." As the walls shuddered around me, I couldn't shake the feeling that whatever I just escaped was still watching me. And this time, I doubted I would find another door. I steadied myself against the wall, heart racing, trying to make sense of my surroundings. The room felt like it was breathing, the walls rising and falling with an unnerving cadence. I blinked again, hoping this was some harrowing mirage. Instead, the oppressive reality of my situation sank deeper. "Why is this happening?" I mumbled, frustration and fear bubbling up within me. No answer came, only the whisper of the shadows circling around me. I turned, scanning for any sign of an escape, my mind racing with the girl's words, the warning, I couldn't go back. I had to find another way. The door across the room seemed like an obvious choice, but as I took a step forward, I felt a sudden shift in the air. The oppressive atmosphere thickened, and the hum grew louder, almost like a heartbeat. I hesitated, instincts screaming at me to reconsider. Then a flicker caught my eye. Something darted past the doorway, just a shadow at first, but then I saw it, a figure, a twisted reflection of someone familiar. Panic surged through me as I remembered the girl. What if she turned out to be a part of this nightmare? "Get out!" the voice echoed again, more desperate this time. I had to trust her, at least for now. The thought of sinking deeper into this hell was unbearable. The door, the only option available, beckoned me. With clenched fists, I sprinted toward it. But as I approached, the figure re-emerged, blocking my path. It loomed larger than anything I had faced, its eyes glowing with an unnatural hunger. "No!" I yelled, fear spilling over. But I pressed against the door. I needed to get out. I felt around the edges, searching for a handle, a way to pry it open. The figure shifted closer, dark fingers stretching toward me. That's when I saw it, a soft glow seeping from the cracks around the door. It pulsed in rhythm with the room's ominous hum, promising something beyond the horror that stared back at me. Drawing a shaky breath, I shoved against the door, desperation feeding my strength. The door swung open, and an overwhelming rush assaulted my senses. Bright light flashed within, but instead of warmth, it felt like ice. I stepped back, torn. Was this another trap, or was this truly an escape? "Please," the girl's voice resonated, now filled with urgency. "You have to!" Suddenly, the darkness behind me surged, the figure lunging forward. I had no time to think. I hurtled into the light, the world blurring around me before slamming shut like a trap. I found myself back on my feet, but I was no longer in that eerie, pulsing room. This place was more chaotic, a corridor lined with doors, some ajar, others shut tight. The air was thick with tension, and as I turned, sharp whispers echoed all around me, slipping just out of reach, as if I were in their own nightmare. "Where am I?" I gasped. A chill skated down my spine. I wasn't sure, but I could feel eyes on me again, lurking in the shadows, waiting. Then the ground beneath me trembled, and I stumbled sideways, nearly falling. I looked back, and that's when I realized, no, not again. One of the doors creaked open, and a figure stepped out. It wasn't dark, nor shadowy. This one was painfully clear. I clenched my fists, ready to confront whatever fate awaited me. The figure that emerged from the door looked just like me. Same features, same wild hair, but something was wrong. Her eyes were wide, filled with fear and desperation, almost like she was trapped in a nightmare of her own. I blinked, wondering if I was truly seeing myself or if the chaos of this place had bent reality again. "Don't come any closer," she shouted, backing away into the shadows of the corridor. Her voice echoed weakly against the walls, revealing the panic that lay just beneath the surface. I felt the same fear clawing at my insides, making my heart pound louder. "What do you want?" I stammered, glancing behind me as the whispers grew louder, swirling around us like a storm. They sounded like mocking laughter, taunting, testing my resolve. "I'm you," she said, her voice cracking. "Or at least, I was." What does that even mean? My breath hitched as I looked for an exit. The corridor stretched like a dark tunnel ahead of me. "I don't have time for this." Suddenly, her expression shifted to one of understanding mixed with anger. "You're not meant to be here. You must leave. This place, it feeds on your fear. It knows what you are. You have to run." Panic gripped me. Run? But where? I felt the wall behind me, solid and unyielding. What would running do if I didn't know whether I was running towards safety or deeper into chaos? Then I heard it, the sound of footsteps echoing in the distance. I turned, my heart freezing. Shadows flickered in the corners, and I sensed the figure from before, the one with the glowing eyes, was closing in again. I faced my reflection. What do I do? How do I escape? "Find the door marked with your name," she said urgently. "It's the only way out." "But I don't even know my—" The ground shook again, more violently this time. Her eyes were blazing with determination. "You do. It's the reason you're here. You have to believe. Just keep moving." Before I could respond, the corridor shifted again, warping and twisting. The whispers crescendoed, and I spotted the door just behind her, the one swinging ajar. "Go!" I propelled myself forward, skirting past her as she disappeared back into the shadows. I sprinted down the corridor, desperately searching for any sign that this nightmare could end. Each door passed felt like a weight on my soul, full of secrets I couldn't bear to fathom. My name echoed in the whispers now. Why? What did they want with me? "Find it," I yelled at myself, urging my feet to move faster. Then, ahead, I saw a faint shimmer. That's when I spotted it, a door at the end of the hall. It glowed eerily, a silver light cascading around its edges like mist. I rushed forward, fumbling with the handle, but as I reached out, dark forms began to materialize all around, creeping toward me. They whispered my fears, feasting on my dread. "No, not again!" I pushed against the door, but it wouldn't budge. Just then, I felt a hand on my shoulder and whirled around. My reflection stood behind me once more. "Trust yourself," she shouted, her voice drowning out the surrounding chaos. "You can do this!" With her words echoing in my mind, I redoubled my efforts. I shoved against the door with everything I had. It creaked and groaned, but suddenly it gave way, and the light engulfed me. I stumbled into the new space and caught my breath. Was it over? Then I turned back, and the door slammed shut behind me with a deafening noise that sent shivers down my spine. I was alone again, but a new kind of silence filled the room. A silence pregnant with possibilities and something more sinister. "Where am I now?" I whispered, scanning the empty space around me. The whispers had faded, but the darkness remained, pressing in. That's when I heard it. A low growl, unmistakable and close. I wasn't safe yet. Something was waiting for me in the shadows, and I was about to find out what it was. The darkness closed in around me, heavy and suffocating. I couldn't escape the feeling that something was looming just beyond the edge of my vision. My heart raced as I strained to listen. The growl was low and menacing, a warning of whatever was lurking nearby. I took a cautious step forward, scanning the shadows. The dim light from the door I had just come through barely illuminated the space. I searched for a way out, but all I could see were walls closing in. I felt those unseen eyes on me, and I shivered. "Stay calm," I whispered to myself, though my voice trembled. "You can handle this." I had to believe it, even if doubt gnawed at me. Then a flicker of movement caught my eye. A shape darted across the far wall, too quick to grasp. I froze, holding my breath, trying to discern the threat. Whatever it was, it seemed to thrive on fear, and I couldn't let it win. "Show yourself," I shouted, my voice stronger than I felt. The growl answered, more furious now, vibrating the air around me. It sounded closer, fiercer. "Think," I scolded myself, "you need to find a way out." That thought propelled me into action. I began walking, half of me still terrified and the other determined. The longer I stayed, the more alive the tension became. I moved along the walls, hoping for a door or an opening. Every step felt heavy, echoing against the stillness. I paused, trying to listen for more sounds in the silence, but all I could hear was my own rapid heartbeat. As I leaned against a wall, something shiny flickered in the corner of my eye. I turned, and there it was, the reflection of what seemed like a door handle, just slightly dented. My hand automatically reached out. Before I could process what I was doing, the door swung open with a creak that resonated through the air. Instinct drove me to step through before it could close again. I stumbled into another corridor, dimly lit and lined with those same dark shadows. Panic set in again. Which way should I go? I could feel the growl from before echoing down this new hall, an ominous reminder that I was being hunted. I took a breath, forcing myself to stay focused. There has to be a way out. I squared my shoulders and began walking, eyes darting around for anything useful. That's when I heard it, a soft voice barely above a whisper on the edge of hearing. "Help." I froze. Was someone else here? "Hello?" I called out, my voice echoing hollowly. "Can you hear me? Help me." The voice was weaker, more desperate. Along with the fear, I felt a tug of empathy. "Where are you?" "Trapped." The sense of urgency hit me like a punch. Someone needed help. "Where?" I pressed, but all I got in return was a chilling silence. Just then, I felt a rush of cold air pass by me, and the shadows seemed to dance and twist in response. The growl erupted again, this time more furious, drowning out everything else. A sense of dread washed over me. I turned back toward the door in panic, but it had vanished, leaving nothing but a smooth wall behind me. My heart dropped. I was trapped in yet another unknown space without any means of escape. Then, a sudden realization struck me. What if it's a trick? I thought, recalling the figure I had just seen. What if they want me to follow? The growling deepened. I had to make a choice. Either I follow the voice and risk becoming trapped, or I run, blind and unprepared. Just then, the corridor shifted, and the shadows surged forward, urging me to decide fast. I closed my eyes for a brief second. "Find a way out," I chanted, trying to drown out the chaos within. I'd have to search for the exit, but what if I'd already waited too long? The hunt was on, and I felt the pressure mounting. With a single deep breath, I turned my back to the whispering shadows and ran, unsure of what awaited me. I sprinted down the corridor, heart racing, driven by desperation and instinct. Each footfall echoed like a countdown, urging me forward. I couldn't let whatever hunted me catch up. The shadows behind me writhed, their presence palpable, feeding on my fear as the growl reverberated off the walls. I turned a corner sharply, praying for an escape, a glimmer of hope in this twisted maze. Nothing ahead but more darkness. My mind was a whirlwind. What was real? What was a trick of this wretched place? I pushed those thoughts aside, focusing on finding another exit. Then I spotted it, a dim light flickering at the end of another corridor. I darted toward it, fueled by a mixture of fear and determination. The growl faded behind me, and for an instant, the air shared a sense of quietude. As I approached the light, my heart thudded louder, each beat urging me on. I skidded to a stop in front of a large, heavy door, splintered at the edges. The glow seeped through the cracks, promising liberation. I turned the handle and flung the door open, propelled by the sheer will to escape. But I stumbled onto a scene far from what I expected. This room was an eerie reflection of the asylum's medical area, the rusted tools still glinting in the light filtering through fractured windows, but dustier, older, like 1,000 lifetimes had passed. My breath hitched in clarity. This was where it all began. It was their voices again, softer now, but insistent. "Help us." Waves of urgency washed over me. The girl's face from before flashed in my mind, those pleading eyes urging me to understand. "You have to leave this place. They'll never let you go." Then I recalled the key, the rusted object I'd fought for. My fingers trembled as I reached into my pocket, retrieving it. Holding it reverently, I peered around the room. Other doors lined the walls, each exuding a shadowy promise. "Find your door," the girl's voice echoed in my mind, intertwining with the others. "That's where it will end." But which door? A wave of panic surged again as I swung my flashlight around, illuminating each one. The growl returned, reverberating through the shadows, fueled by my indecision. I had to act. With newfound resolve, I approached each door, searching for anything familiar, anything that screamed my name. The whispers escalated, overlapping with the growls, creating a cacophony of horror that threatened to overwhelm me. And then, just like that, one door caught my eye. It was different, old paint peeling, inscribed in worn letters. Abigail. My heart skipped. Could that be me? Help us! The voices sounded even closer now. Without a second thought, I charged toward that door, clutching the key tightly in my fist. As I reached for the handle, the intensity of the growl amplified. I could feel the darkness breathing down my neck, a singeing sensation prickling against my skin. I forced myself not to falter, turning the key in the lock with a deep breath, the sound echoing like a gunshot. It clicked, and the door creaked open, revealing a bright, swirling light inside. As I stepped through, I felt a rush, not of wind, but of something deeper, almost like warmth from a fading memory. But I didn't have time to reflect. The darkness surged forward, a tidal wave of shadowy dread. And yet, something held it back, a barrier just beyond the threshold. I turned back, peering into the abyss one last time. The figure materialized, twisting and contorting with rage, its eyes glimmering like dying coals. "You can't escape," it howled, anger echoing fiercely as I squinted against the sudden brightness of my newfound sanctuary. "Help us!" A chorus rose from the darkness. The girl's face blinked in and out like a memory struggling to solidify, grasping for a path she could not see. "Please, Abigail!" But I knew better now. This was my chance to break free. Stepping fully into the light, I felt a wave of energy surge around me, enveloping me whole. The door slammed shut behind me, sealing the darkness away. I was alone, but not unscathed. I took deep, shaky breaths, feeling alive, viscerally charged with uncertainty and a sense of liberation. I glanced around the room, bright and ordinary, sunlight pouring through a window like a memory returning from the great unknown. But questions lingered, thick and unsolved. Had I truly escaped? Or was this another layer, just waiting to reveal itself? The feeling that I was not completely alone pressed upon me, and I couldn't shake the thought of the girl, her plea echoing in the recesses of my mind. As I stepped away from that room, I paused, looking back at the door that had held so many secrets, so many lost souls. I didn't have the answers I sought. I didn't know what haunted the asylum. All I knew was that I was free, at least for now. But the shadows of the unknown would always linger just outside the door, and I would never truly escape the haunting pull of that place. I moved away from the asylum and back into the world, uncertainty draping over me like a second skin. The night felt long ahead, full of questions without answers, shadows dancing just beyond reach. Would they ever stop whispering? Had this really come to an end, or was I merely a fragment of a larger nightmare? I guess I'll never know.